Okay, so we'll look at the left-hand one first then, Chris. This was your original setup.
Yeah.
Club was a little bit, for me, too far near your trail leg. Ball position is a little bit too far back, which is very common of someone hitting the ground behind the ball and so on. What that does, though, is it tends to make sure your shoulders aim a bit to the left now, which means your club's going to swing in that direction too far outside, and then we're chopping across it. And what you'll have to do now is square the club face up by means of your hands kind of flicking. And we see there's kind of impact. I mean, there's the middle of your hands. The hands are behind the golf ball. So if the ball is sat nicely in the rough, or sat up a little bit, maybe on a tee peg, or just a good lie in the fairway, the ball then come up too high and you lose yardage, okay? Or, in this case, you like to thin it and it goes a bit low and you sort of lose yardage. You might run a bit further now towards the summer, but you know yourself, you can't run a golf ball just topping it and thinning. It doesn't feel right, does it, okay? So what we're going to try and do now, this little sequence here we sort of went through, start off with the golf club straight up. Now you've turned that a little bit in fairness, okay? So the club is slightly closed. When you put the golf club back down now, the club is closed at setup. You can see now when your hands get more towards that left side, I know maybe it's a little bit too far, but I'd rather you be going too far that way than too far back this way, okay? At least on this one now, what you're going to get is just a lower shot that goes a bit too far to the left, but it'd be a better strike as well. Okay, in terms of the impact now, if we take these lines away on the left, that was impact previously. With this new sort of tweak now, you're making the same good turn now. There's your impact now on the second one, yeah?
Coming up, so.
Yeah, the thing is, you do come up. We want you to extend up, okay? We don't want to stay down. The thing is, if you stay down, your arms go nowhere. The bobbing up for you, really, is when you actually hit the ground. You haven't bobbed up enough. Your head, if I hit a golf ball now, I want to extend up, okay? What we don't want to be doing is you trying to stay down, because what happens, you stay down too long, you hit the ground, and then you go ba-boing, and you jump up that way, and you feel more of a jump up. As you hit a golf ball here, okay, you're extending up through your shot, okay? Your head and body needs to stand up, and you finish that. Because if you keep your head down, you can't turn. The spine can do basically two things. It can bow forward and it can rotate. It doesn't do both of those things at the same time very well. Yeah. If you're trying to stay down, your arms have got nowhere to go, which will give you that, as we showed you on this one here, this kind of tucked up feeling with your arms, yeah? And what happens now is because your arms are swinging that way, your arms are going up in the air. Well, your body now is going to rise up with the arms. If you're trying to stay down to stop jumping, all you do is you just jump a little bit later, but more ferociously. It just feels worse, yeah? We want that kind of extension up through the goal, so your body is, in a sense, rising up through impact. But it needs to be doing so while the body's still rotating. Okay, look at the arms on this one here now. There's a little bit more width there with your arms through impact as we start turning. And that left hip we started talking about last week, and that impact, just the fact the blur is longer, which generally means the ball has been hit slightly better. If we go back to impact there now, it's a bit of a sort of slightly different camera spot, but at least that ball there in that impact position is showing you now a much more efficient hit. That ball's, and we saw that last couple, you're finding a strike and you're able to finish more on that left side, whereas this one here now, because you then sort of drop up, I mean, look at that. If you just look at that movement there and that footwork there, that's a good indicator to show you what you have or haven't done, isn't it? Yeah. So go through that practice where it starts off, club out in front of you like a sword. And maybe at the moment now, 11:30 would be enough. 11:30, 11 o'clock would help you get that club stronger. It then gets you into a stronger position. You have to square the club face up now by moving your hips and shoulders to the left a bit more. So you're sort of turning your body to square the club face up. Now you can turn a lot more effectively on the way back, which is great. And then it's that confidence to twist through the golf ball. The problem is you weren't able to twist through the golf ball before because your face was slightly open and you had to try and square the club face up with this lifting and flicking of the hands, yeah?
So what do you do with other clubs now?
Every single thing with everything.
So the
driver through the bag to wedge, yeah?
So you go through the same hole,
same grip on every club.
With
the ball will be further forward, so rather than turning that way with your shoulders, they go left, you would just tilt a little bit more. Now I'm exaggerating this, okay?
What's the triangle?
That's fine, we can do some driver swing, that's fine. If you look at where your arms are here now, if this is your setup for your iron, Chris, there, straight line would help, wouldn't it? So that's your iron setup. There's your driver setup.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing is really changing that much. It's the position of the club on the ground relative to your ball position, yeah? But I'm still going to have that club face. So there would be my iron. There's the driver. What we don't want to do is turn the shoulders this way to get to that further ball, which is what most people tend to do. They tend to sort of rotate their body more to get to the golf ball rather than lean more. Okay, so try drivers and see how it goes. Yeah, great. Okay, good stuff, Chris.